This is Mrs. Bharat USA 2022 Champions Empowerment and Community Strength. Beyond individual empowerment, Mrs. Bharat recognized the pivotal role of communities in fostering growth and resilience, and she's also a community leader. Yeah, tell us about yourself here in the Asiana Post.
So first of all, thank you for having me here. In terms of giving back to the community, I totally believe in being a part of the community. We are all immigrants here, and I feel like when you're connected to the community, you're connected to your culture. What I have done in the past is I have volunteered for several organizations. I have also been a part of fashion shows, being a part of it. Hosting shows and also, organizing the recent pageant that we did in collaboration with my partners, Sharika and Ajay. And I won the title of Mrs. Bharat USA Elite 2022 last year in Atlanta, and was very fortunate to be crowned by Miss Universe 2021, Harnaaz Sandhu.
Great. Can you tell us about the criteria on that?
Sure. So this particular pageant is organized by My Dream TV USA, and they really believe in empowering women, right? So the logo itself says women empowerment. So believe it or not, the pageant doesn't even have an age limit. It ranges from age 4 to even grandmom's category, so there's no upper limit. You could be at what age you could participate in it. The idea is that you, as a girl or a woman or even a man, because they have different categories. They have princes, like I said, little girls, to Mrs. Elite, classic. Classic is above 50. They have grandmoms, they have Mr. and Mrs., they even have Mr. So the idea is to really empower people, everybody, that how they can present themselves and gain confidence.
Great. And then I know recently you had an event, right?
Yes, we did.
Can you tell us about this event?
Absolutely. So this was called Miss Bharat Florida, and we held it on September 30th. It was held in Hallandale Cultural Center. We had 54 contestants ranging from age 4 to 74. And it was a huge success because we really saw the community come together, and there were people, especially some women towards the end of the show, they are above 50 and they'd never done anything like that. So they were really thanking me. And like I said, I did it in collaboration with Shalika Rehani and Ajay Sharma, and we were so delighted to see that they got the voice. And even my daughter, I have a 6-year-old daughter. She's turning 7 in December.
Congratulations.
So even she did participate in the princess category. And a lot of her friends, that she does the Indian classical dancing Kathak with, they participated. And I could really see that sense of confidence in these little girls, including my own daughter, my daughter did a cute gymnastic act as a talent round, and some people sang. So I feel like it's really about giving them the platform to showcase their talents, have a voice, and truly believe in the power of believing in themselves at an early age.
Great. Yeah, that's talk about being empowered, right?
Exactly.
That's the key.
Absolutely.
What besides empowerment, was there anything else that that made you or the community started this, and how long did it take for you? For the whole team or the people behind it?
So see, we took a franchisee from Rashmi Bedi, who's the organizer of Miss Bharat USA.
Right.
And for me, the journey started off with participating, right? So it started last year.
Right.
And so basically last year, the Miss Bharat Florida was a remote event. That was a virtual pageant. Miss Bharat Florida didn't happen in person last year. So I did the Miss Bharat Florida, and then the winners of Miss Bharat Florida. So I also won the Miss Bharat Florida, Mrs. Bharat Florida USA Elite 2022. And then I represented Florida as a state winner in the national pageant, which happened December last year in Atlanta. And we had 82 contestants. So we had a lot of people coming from every state representing, the title winners and then competing for the national winner. And so my journey started with that. And when I won the title of Mrs. Bharat USA Elite 2022 last year in Atlanta, I really wanted to give back to the community, right? Not in just terms of like, of course, we got opportunities when you win a beauty crown, like I did New York Fashion Week this year in February, work for some really good designers. It was a wonderful event. So you kind of start thinking beyond you as an individual, right? Like you feel that, yes, I have accomplished a goal. I'm sure people who are watching this, like every little girl, from little girl to a woman, we all have a desire at least one day to win a beauty crown, So there are even songs like this. Like there was a song in India, right? Main sundar na sahi, magar chehra mera kuch bura bhi nahi. And then she says, ki banungi main Miss India. So that's how we are raised up, where we are dreaming of having that, crown and winning a title and truly showcasing your worth. So winning this pageant, and then, like I said, Shalika and Ajay, they won the title of Mr. and Mrs. Bharat USA. So we took the franchisee from Rashmi Bedi and Janak Bedi, who are the actual owners of My Dream TV USA, and under that, banner, they have Miss Bharat USA. So we took the franchisee of Miss Bharat Florida from them. And it was I'm very proud to say that this was the very first pageant, or rather Miss Bharat Florida, that happened in person here. And it was a huge success because it was the first event that happened. And of course, there'll be more to follow. But we had a great response, and we're very proud that we have contributed to the community, in that way.
Yeah, that's very impactful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's bring it back a little bit. What inspired you to go to that journey? Can you elaborate?
Absolutely, Ed. So for me, the journey started way before. I mean, I'm in my 40s right now, but even in my 20s, you know. So for me, pageant is actually not a new thing for me, because I've always dreamt of, doing pageants and modeling. Like, it's my hobby. Even though I'm in the tech industry and by profession, I'm an engineer. I work in a technology industry as a program manager, or rather a management consultant.
Right.
But modeling and fashion has always been my passion. So I've done a lot of modeling in the past. And in my 20s, I was, I was also a contestant for Indian national level beauty pageant called Glamorous Mrs. India. It's organized by Mrs. Maureen Wadia. So we all know Bombay Dine. We were in Mumbai. It was then called Bombay at Badala, their guest house, for like a month. So that pageant was probably the biggest pageant that I've ever done, because we're looking at 1 month staying with your fellow contestants. Yeah. And, literally our day would start in the morning, and in the night we had dance practices. We had, fitness, fitness, not only fitness exercises, but also like how to be fit. Right. They took us to Goa for curtain raiser. So we were in Goa for like 4 days. So that was like how it started, where, I did this national level pageant. And in that, I got the title of most beautiful face. I was not, that time I didn't really win a crown. And that's another message I want to give to the girls or women watching this video, that you may not win the crown in the very first pageant that you participate, right? Because it's all about experience, and it's all about knowing yourself, because we all are beautiful, right? But it's about knowing your perfect angle, or your strengths, because somebody could be tall, and somebody could be, having a very good communication skills, or somebody could just be very good in runway walking. Somebody could be really good in congeniality, Like, there are so many attributes when you get that beauty crown, right? So it's all about, in my opinion, it's all about knowing yourself. And once you start knowing yourself and really knowing your strengths and weakness, right? Utilizing that to win that beauty crown. So yeah, getting back to your question. So it started off in my 20s, and then in my 30s, I continued to do a lot of modeling. I used to live in San Francisco Bay Area. And I was fortunate to work for some really good designers. I did tons of fashion show. And then, but deep down, I really thought that, hey, I still haven't won that crown, I really wanted to win the crown. So, and then when this opportunity came along, I'm so happy that I finally got my dream fulfilled. I won this crown. And not only that, it was special because it was crowned by none other than Miss Universe 2021, Harnaaz Sandhu. So it was a very beautiful opportunity. I would say definitely a moment to treasure forever, to finally win that crown.
Yeah, that's congratulations.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this: is it complicated being a model or doing the pageantry? And what's the what's the difference? Because maybe people that are watching or listening to this, they don't know. Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely, Ed. So see, modeling, again, there are different kinds of modeling, right? Like runway modeling, print modeling, editorial, etc. So I've done a lot of runway because I do like walking, and I think my strength is like I'm tall. So like I really wanted to kind of do a lot of runway. And I think modeling is pretty simple. It depends on, for somebody it would not be. It depends on your personality. But I guess if you're an outgoing person and you really like to showcase yourself, with wonderful designer clothes, then I think modeling is relatively straightforward compared to pageantry, because in modeling, you're just walking and representing yourself with confidence and showcasing the designer clothes, So yeah, the common thing between modeling and pageantry is that the confidence. However, for pageantry, we are just not looking at a beautiful woman, right? A woman. Of course, you have to be beautiful, but it's not just about beauty from the outside, but beauty from inside. Like how wonderful you are with other contestants. Do you really have what it takes to give back? Which goes back to, again, like what we did, right? In little ways. I don't think you have to go, like sometimes, we people keep thinking that, hey, we have to do a lot to give back. You could take small steps to give back, right? You could be associated with a small you should volunteer with a small organization, NGO, whatever you're passionate. So really the difference between a pageant queen versus a model is that a pageant queen is a woman of substance in terms of being complete. I'm not saying a runway model is not, because that lady could also be. It's just that, like, when you are trying to win a beauty pageant, the judges are judging you on, your talent, how you carry yourself, how you answer a question, how you present yourself, and also how you treat others. So you really have to be a whole package from that perspective.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. I learned a lot. So tell us about this outfit that you have.
Today?
Yeah. So,
you like it?
Yeah, it's very nice. So, did you make that yourself, or
no. This is something that I just ordered. Like these days, we live in the world of like instant shopping and online shopping. So yeah, I got it from Amazon. I think Amazon is a great place where you can get good clothes.
Right.
So yeah, like I wanted to wear something which is like very elegant, and I wanted to make sure that doing justice to Asiana Post News interview. So yeah, I just got it from Amazon.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you,
Yeah, you're welcome. So where are you going from here? From from all the success that you have, what's the mission now for you?
So Ed, I would continue to contribute to the community. That's one aspect of it. My goal is to not just restrict myself to pageants, but mainly like I want to focus on, like those small community events that we have. Like I said, I have a 6-year-old daughter. So I am also very actively involved in temples and like local community events. Like we just had Diwali. And we have the IRCC Diwali coming in. So like my daughter is performing in that. And then we have Namaste India coming in on December 2nd. So my goal is to continue, contributing to the community. Like I'm going to be organizing a fashion show for Namaste India, putting together a list of models and contributing in that way. So yeah, besides contributing locally in the community, I would definitely want to do reality TV. I think I'm I'm someone who loves media, so yeah, I would definitely like to try for reality TV and any sort of TV commercials. But I think I'm definitely gearing more towards media and TV. I think I've done. It's not like I would stop modeling. I've done a lot of modeling, and I will still continue to do runway modeling. But I think my focus is now drifting more towards media.
What are the close or big events that you have, or for you, what you have that's pending right now that you foresee that you're going to be working on a project?
Absolutely. So the next one that's coming up, the big one, is the New York Fashion Week in February.
Okay.
So I'm definitely going to do that. And my goal now is more towards, like I said, working with these small volunteer organizations, and like there is Akshay Padra, which is like organization, which you're going to see it on December 2nd, in the Namaste India event. So I'm going to start volunteering for that, because the goal of the organization is to provide food to underprivileged children in India. So I think that particular platform really appeals to me. So I really see myself kind of doing more of NGO kind of work, and not necessarily just sticking around to pageants. And then, of course, other than that, I already mentioned that like I would continue doing modeling because it's always been my passion, and also hopefully get into commercials, media, reality TV. Like I said, I'm really, I would totally, at least my goal is to at least do one season of any reality TV, but I really want to do reality TV.
Why is the reality TV?
I think because I think reality TV is all about for people who really are big on personalities, and they're not afraid to express themselves. And I think I would fairly describe myself as someone who's very vocal about what I really think. Like, I think I can speak my mind, and I'm not afraid to showcase who I am. So for people who are kind of fearless, I think they should be on reality TV, because you have to have, just imagine, like opening up your life. So like you have to have that personality where you are open, to really show you, and it's not that we are perfect. We have shades, in our personalities. So really to be able to just not showcase only the good side, but like we all have different shades in our personality, to be able to showcase all your sides. I think it's a big personality trait. And I have that.
Okay. How did this come about? This, this personality of yours. Were you always like this when you were younger, or did it blossom when you were like on a teens, or what?
That's a very good question. So fun fact about me, like I was a nerd growing up. So it's not like I was introverted. I mean, it was, but I think I was definitely not as extrovert. So I was kind of more of like an ambivert. But I think my focus, at least back in the days, like I grew up in India, for people who don't know me. And first I came here when I was 26 years old. But I did my education from India. And I remember like during that era, like at least in that generation, like the parents only gave us two options. Hey, you want to be an engineer or you want to be a doctor? So yeah, I was thinking in my head, if I become a doctor, that's like 7-8 years, or after residency, like 10 years. Okay. And I was very good in math. Like I was, for people who don't know me, I topped in my school in class 10th. So my name is still there outside my school. So I was a nerd growing up, and I chose engineering because I was always a very analytical person, and I was very good in math. So I'm so glad I chose that. And finally, I'm in the technology industry right now, and I've been doing tech for like 18 plus years. So that's what my profession is. But yeah, it took me, I think it's all about evolving yourself, right? Like personality changes each year. So yeah, until I was studying, I was not as extroverted. I was a little bit of a nerd. But when I started working, my personality started changing a little bit. You grow up. I think it happens to everybody. We all have our, weird high school years. And then, as we know each other, as we start knowing ourselves, like we get more and more confident, So for me, it was like, really understanding. And I think the fact that I did pageants, I think it really helped me really look at myself with a little bit more attention to detail, right? Like, hey, this is what I'm good at, but this is what I could get better, right? So really have that approach where you're not 100% criticizing yourself. It's not about criticizing yourself. It's about really looking at yourself and understanding your areas of improvement, and then continuously surviving, continuously improvising, to be a better version of yourself, right? Like even today, I think.
Where did you get that?
Sorry?
Where did you get that idea to getting better of yourself?
I think that's what everybody should be. Okay. Like I feel like the day we feel that we know it all, the day we feel that we are perfect and the best person, I think that your life is over, right? Because in my opinion, life is all about continuous improvement, continuously moving ahead, right? Like today, if you have gained this much, you can always gain more, or you can always achieve more.
Right.
So I believe, like, at least I'm the kind of person, I would describe myself as a person who is always thinking of evolving myself. As an example, growing up, like I was more focused on education. And of course, I did fashion, but like I didn't do that much dancing. But I've always had an interest in dancing. So even I'm learning. I'm so proud to say that I'm learning Kathak. It's the same teacher, the Indian classical dance. So like I continue to evolve myself. Like, hey, what is it that I want to get better at? As an example, dancing. I perform every year at IRCC except this year. I do. I'm also trying to learn piano now. So like it's just an example. Right, that you as a person want to learn new things. And that's how I would describe it. Like, I'm not somebody who would be like, hey, I know A, B, C, and I'm done. No. If I don't know X, Y, Z, let's get on to it, And then if you know A, B, C, how can I get better at A, B, C, So it's really about becoming a better version of yourself while appreciating who you are, right? Like, you have to really appreciate who you are and really respect yourself for who you are. And the self-love, in my opinion, Ed, is very important,
Right.
But as long as you have that self-love and, you know your strengths, what you want in life, but you also know that, hey, there are a few things that I don't know and I want to learn it, and you want to continue to aspire to learn new things. That's what makes you a full, well-rounded individual. That's my opinion.
Definitely makes sense. And no, I appreciate that, because we have viewers probably doesn't have that mentality. That's why I asked you about that. So
no, it's very important. I believe like you have to evolve, and you shouldn't be adverse to. I know we're living in a world where people are adverse to changes. Some people are like, I have some friends who are like, hey, this is where I live and I'm going to live here for the rest of my life. Nothing wrong with it.
Right.
But it's all about different people, right?
Right.
Like some people just stay put. They are okay living in a boundary or a circle, and that's what their life is, and they're happy. Congratulations.
Right.
Nothing wrong in it. But like, I'm the kind of person, because growing up, like a little bit about my childhood, right? Like when I was growing up as a child, my dad is a retired bank officer. So he was working in a bank and he had transferable jobs. So I grew up, when people ask me, hey, where are you from India? It kind of like, I take a pause because I was born in a city called Jaipur, which is a pink city. But I was raised in multiple cities like Delhi, and then, Lucknow, Indore, and then a lot of my education in Pune. So, I never really had only one school or a set of friends. We would live in a city for like 3-4 years, and then we would change cities. So, I grew up in an environment where change was not only inevitable, change was a part of a life. So, I think that kind of really added on to this personality of mine, where I'm pretty flexible, right? I can make friends easily. I can get adjusted. Of course, granted, as you get a little bit older, you get a little bit more rigid, but still I feel like I'm pretty flexible. And if you put me in a different country, even today, maybe it will take me a few months, but I think I'll be able to adjust. So I think I'm a very, very flexible person from that perspective.
Great. Yeah, I think also from what you told me, you've kind of acquired a lot of skill set.
Yeah.
Along the way in your journey, especially. Yes. I mean, with the modeling and pageantry, and then you top it with technology. You rarely see women in technology.
Really?
Yeah. What I've come across.
Okay.
Majority is male dominant industry, correct?
Yeah, but it's changing. And I do want to say that talking a little bit about technology industry, I think it's changing, and it's changing for good. We do see a lot of women in technology now, and especially the women in leadership. If you look at the statistics, I think it's definitely amazing to see how we are seeing a rise of women in senior leadership positions.
Right.
So even from my perspective, I do see myself, like one is my passion and everything that we just spoke about, but professionally, because that's what I've done for like 18 plus years, like I do see myself growing in a corporate ladder and, be that woman in leadership. And I would say, why not? And that's another thing I wanted to tell our viewers, that, hey, when you do these things, right, modeling, pageantry, it's not necessarily your profession, right? It's something that you're adding on. It's almost like, how do I say, like a part of your personality or a part of your life. You may have your own careers, whether in technology or medical world or HR or finance, whatever your field is, right? But whatever you're doing, it helps you because now you have an added advantage or an added confidence, showcasing and presenting yourself. Because if we look at any job, what is the most important thing? Interpersonal skills. How do you carry yourself? How do you do team management? How do you treat others? Are you an active listener? Stuff like that, right? So I think pageantry really teaches you that. It teaches you patience. It teaches you kindness. It teaches you empathy. It gives you that competitive feeling, but without feeling overwhelmed, right? Because you are competitive, obviously, because when you're doing a pageant, you want to compete. But at the same time, like I said, not all the time you win. So it also gives you, I would say, the strength where, you know that you've not necessarily won the beauty crown, but you did your best. You were still appreciated and applauded for what you did. So I think it's definitely an overall personality development, and which is why I'm saying it again. Like, I'm definitely putting my daughter in pageant, and she did it this year. She'll do it next year. I definitely see her doing the pageants a lot because it just gives you that added confidence and the skill sets, team management. Because again, when I say team management, you're working with so many contestants, so you want to be respectful towards them. So I think it's also a very, very good platform for even teenagers and young girls, because eventually the teenagers will do professional education. Then they'll have their own careers, right? So it's really a platform where, you become self-aware, and not only self-aware, self-confident. Like I said, you embrace yourself more. You
Right.
love yourself more.
Right. Yeah, I think being part of the pageantry will help, women to be in a best ability that they could deliver in the world nowadays.
No,
Sounds like when you're explaining that, it's very, it makes sense.
No, absolutely, Ed. And that's why I want to tell, like, earlier in the days, right? I mean, I do want to talk a little bit more about it. So earlier in the days, pageant was all about, being the perfect 10, perfect figure, perfect everything, right? But I think the good news is it's changing, right? Like even the pageant that Miss Bharat Florida that we organized, and the whole under the banner of Miss Bharat USA, under My Dream TV USA, like they are based on the concept of that, you could be any shape, size, age, as long as you're there representing you, your culture, your values, and of course your good attitude and your confidence. Like you can do it, right? And you are, and then all these contestants also kind of indirectly are helping other people, because then they become role models for other people, right? So when their friends or their family watch them, they even get that confidence that they can do it too. And getting back to the runway industry, right? Even modeling industry, if you look at it, like it has changed and changed for good. Like, of course, you still have a specific size for modeling, high fashion modeling, but again, you have plus size modeling. I think now we are living in a world where different shapes, sizes, color, everything is more diversified, and I think this is wonderful to see that, because the world needed that change, right? Like we want to have the diversity, not just in color, but like I said, shape, size, age. Before, if you look at even in the movie industry, right? Like we used to say, hey, she's now in 40s, she's retired. But now we see these character-driven roles, where they are the lead. So I feel like in some way, the world has changed for better, because now age is just a number. And I totally believe in it. Age is truly a number. Like I said, we had even 74-year-old people participating in the pageant, right? So it's really about how and what you think about yourself, and how you want to present yourself.
Okay. Last question for you. Leadership. Tell us about what you feel about leadership, or how you look at it.
I think, Ed, it's a wonderful question. Leadership is super important in life, even the way we lead our lives, right? You need to be your own leader in leading, keep apart leading others. So I'm in the technology industry, and my role is in leadership. I'm a senior management consultant, leading programs and portfolios and projects. So besides my profession, like I said, we organized this beauty pageant together, me, Shalika, and Ajay. So we demonstrated our leadership qualities. So in my opinion, leadership is super important if you want to accomplish anything in life. And it could be professional, personal, it could be an individual, it could be, the way you even raise your children, not in a way of authority, but in a way of managing, how the values, what extracurricular activities they're going to take, the discipline aspect of it, that all falls under leadership. So I truly believe in the power of leadership. And again, it's going to sound repetitive, but when you do these pageants and modeling and everything, indirectly you are getting that confidence and the leadership qualities. So yeah, I highly recommend everybody to to do beauty pageants, or it doesn't really have to be beauty pageants, right? Like anything which is beyond your typical role, right? If you are a housewife, step out, do something completely new. If you are a professional, do something which is apart from your profession, right?
Taking
an initiative.
Right. Yeah. So taking initiative, and then, you're probably going to be applying that to the community that you're going to be working with.
Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, I totally would continue to work towards the community. I mean, I'm here today because even Asiana Post, you guys believe in the power of community, right? And which is why, Ed, you and I have been talking for so long, and we collaborated on this because we really, really want to promote the community. Like, we're still a minority here in this country, especially in South Florida, as us Asians, So I think the fact that we're getting together and we are promoting our community, we are promoting our culture, it's such a beautiful thing that we are doing. And especially for us, we still know our countries, right? I think for people who are born here, including my daughter, right? So the youth, the children and the youth of today who are born in the US, teaching them the values, teaching them the aspects of our culture, I think it's such a beautiful thing. And I do want to say that, I mean, I was always involved in the community, but ever since I became a mom, I think my my collaboration or my involvement with community is tenfold. Like I said, you'll be finding me, if I'm not I may not be an organizer, right, in every event, but I'm always involved in the community. I'm always seen in the community. Even like in temples, she also goes to this Bal Vihar in South Florida Hindu temple. These are classes conducted every Sunday, and they teach little kids, about gods and goddesses in India, about the Indian festivals, and then, the prayers, everything. So I think it's such a wonderful initiative by South Florida Hindu Temple, and not just South Florida Hindu Temple, the other temples as well, like where the kids are taught about the culture. I think this is what I believe that we should continue doing as a population, to keep passing that legacy to the future generation.
Right. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and look forward to talking to you again, and hope to see you in that event. And we'll talk to you.
Absolutely, Ed. I'll definitely see you. Thank you so much for having me here.
I appreciate it.
So yes, it has been a fabulous year as Mrs. Bharat USA Elite 2022. I got to do so much. During this year, I walked for renowned fashion designers in New York Fashion Week. I also recently organized Miss Bharat Florida 2023 along with my business partners Shalika and Ajay, and it was such a wonderful event because it was the very first in-person state event that we organized in Florida. So yes, it was absolutely amazing to pass on the crown to the newly crowned queen, Bhavna Mittal, who's going to continue her journey as Mrs. Bharat USA Elite 2023, and I wish her good luck. I truly believe that when you win a beauty crown, it's an individual achievement, but when you're actually, you've gone through that whole year of working on different platforms, working with different people, meeting so many gorgeous and beautiful queens along the way, and then finally, the whole year of serving, when you pass on the crown, it is just an amazing feeling, because then you truly become or rather foster the sense of community. And this is why, we're here today for this interview, because it's all about building stronger communities.